Good morning. It is it's kind of fun. We're sitting in the Ugly Mug Cafe in Loomis. It's Sunday morning, the 14th of August. We are 4 weeks and 5 days away from our show. 4 weeks. And we have so much left to do, it's insane. So I thought I'd run through some of the things we have to do still left on the agenda. To pull this show off, in the next 4 weeks, we've got to build the stage. So on that regard today, we're going out to drill holes on the site to find out what we're about to drill into. Steve Bear from Bear Engineering is going to be coming out with his tractor, and Merritt, who is our PE, our engineer, is coming out to show us where we need to drill the holes. We're going to find out what we're going to run into, whether we're going to run into granite or whether it's drilled right through. And our challenge is that we have a 2-foot drill that goes 5 to 6 feet deep. And we're probably going to need 3-foot holes that go 10 feet deep. We're not quite sure how we're going to do that yet. My engineer this morning, Merritt, told me that I'm going to need somewhere around 10 holes in the ground, 10 feet deep, to make this stage strong enough to handle the kind of winds that we can have come through this. So that's part of our challenge. But the good news is we've got an engineer and a designer that are working on the stage. We've got construction guys. We've got our lumber guys going to tell us what we need. They're going to help to put together the materials that we need. So a little bit later, you're going to see us flying our helicopter around, getting some shots of us drilling holes. This afternoon and tomorrow, we'll be writing a dozen different press releases. And Sherry Ann Banks is going to be sending out press releases to hundreds of outlets around the country. We're talking about the fact that producers can supplement their income instead of having to rely on a pension, or instead of having to rely on Social Security or a retirement account. For a lot of people, like myself, who are self-employed, they don't have those things.
That's cute. Thank you. Camera, there you go.
Thanks. So what happens is if you make content and you can distribute it yourself and make residual income, over time you're going to see a return of income. So it's possible to offset your need for retirement income through content. So over 10 years or 15 years, you make content all the time, and that starts bringing in 20 or 30 or 100 or $200 a month. Well, you've got 10, 20, 30 or 100 pieces of content. Pretty soon you've got $2,000 or $3,000 a month coming in. And for somebody to supplement their retirement, that's pretty good. The other thing, building the community stage, in a time in a recession where communities are having a really tough time surviving. Communities are going bankrupt. People are they're closing libraries, closing post offices, closing parks. We're expanding the park and putting in a stage with no public money at all. This is all private donations, private efforts, volunteers in town, designing, doing the work, and putting it together for the sake of this town. So those are great stories, and that stuff has to be done immediately, and we'll be sending out this week. The volunteers are coming together. John Wayner is starting to really pull together our volunteers. We are selling tickets to our concerts, to the Public Blues concert, which is really cool. And we haven't even advertised that it's available yet. I think those will be our big success. Eric Chun has done a fantastic job of putting together the speakers that we're going to need at the high hand for our music plaza. He's done a great job there. And by the way, you're viewing this on a new Sony point-and-shoot camera. I did a lot of research, and I wanted something I could take with me everywhere and capture the moments for the next 4 weeks so you can see what's going on and have a bird's eye view, have a front row seat to what this next 4 weeks is going to be like, and it is going to be a wild ride.